I know I turned my air off, and yeah. All right, so here, if you want to start recording, you can.
I am.
But this is gonna be a fun thing. You ready?
Yes.
Thank you for downloading our recent episode. For more episodes like this, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com for more episodes. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Movie Guys Podcast. We are talking about 20 years later. It's been 28 years since the last one came out. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
I'm excited to crap all over this movie, that's for sure.
We have some questions. Yeah, this one's a slow burn. I watched it all the way through once, arms folded, very angry. But as more research I've done and I've watched more scenes again, I don't hate it as much as I originally did. If we recorded this episode as soon as I got done watching the movie, it would have been a bag of kernels, 100%.
Oh, I'm up ready to give it that, man. This movie was a stinker to me. I don't like a movie where after I watch it, I have to go online to get answers, especially from the director when he does an interview and he has to explain why certain things exist. It's like, why didn't you say that in the movie? How did you not properly convey that to the audience? How am I supposed to figure that out, that this virus has evolved? How am I supposed to figure out, right, that these things can now live off of animals in the woods forever and ever now, and that they've evolved into their own thing, and that they can get pregnant? And there's just so many questions that I have. It just doesn't seem like this movie is interested in giving me answers.
Well, see, I got all that from the movie. And maybe we'll get more answers because the sequel's coming out in January. The Bone Yard or the Bone Graveyard or something like that.
Bone Temple, which
The Bone
HR
Temple.
had a field day with when I was describing to her the movie, and said that these characters walked into the Bone Temple and she couldn't keep a straight face.
Nice. Well, that's amazing that HR would think that way. You would think that HR wouldn't do that.
She just got done watching a Deadpool movie, so the innuendos were riding high.
Yeah. Who HR's HR, you know?
Right. Who does HR?
Right, absolutely. So, no, I mean, like, I'm not trying to pick a fight with you, but, like, every complaint that you just listed a second ago, I got from this movie. Like, I am not a 28 Days franchise fan, but it's like, okay, clearly these things have evolved, right? I mean, obviously. They're more Neanderthal-y, if that's a word, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get what they're doing with it. What I actually liked more was more the humans story on this one. Like, I don't know. So I've done my research on this. Have you done your homework for 28 days, 28 weeks till now?
Oh, yeah. I went down a rabbit hole, but I went down the history of other zombie movies as well, too. Pretty much why some movies, like what's the cause of them being zombies. Although, these are not zombies. These are infected.
Right. And I saw that online, too, because I guess the definition of zombie is a reanimated corpse. These people are not being ate and being brought back to life.
So, you had brought up that the first movie, 28 Days Later, released in 2022, kind of was the spearhead to help in this zombie resurgence, into this type of cultural or dark fantasy, right? Where a lot of other movies and media and everything kind of followed after that, because it more or less introduced the fast zombie.
It introduced the fast zombie. It was one of the first films shot completely on digital. Every filmmaker in the early 2000s had to have the Canon XL1 because this movie did it, right? Like, it just, all these technical advances with it. Why not?
The first one also had like this gritty look to it, so it wasn't necessarily like a found footage, but it really made it kind of like a voyeur, right? Like you were in there, and there was a lot of POV. There was a lot of shaky cam in it too. It really gave you a immersion into that world there, where you were a part of it. You were kind of like right along with Cillian Murphy in the entire movie.
Right, you're along with him on it. I also like the idea that it's a rage virus. So these people that get infected, they just get bit, or as in the first one, a spot of blood gets into a guy's eye and he instantly turns. I like the instant turn thing. That means it's so hard to contain, right? If you're in a traditional zombie movie, you get bit somewhere, you have a few hours, maybe days in zombie movies before you turn. So you can contain that better. A movie like this, you're bit, 5 seconds, you're already turned. And
yes.
that's very interesting. That's very, very cool. 28 weeks later, I found out, 28 weeks later, and we get introduced to this hybrid where, somebody has the virus but is asymptomatic, right? That's the big twist.
Yeah, that's right.
So now, the end of that movie, which they've retconned in this movie, is that, which I didn't know that going into this, because I just assumed zombie movie, so it's a worldwide apocalypse. But the first two movies were solely in Great Britain. It was on the island, so America was still cool. Russia, everybody else was still cool.
Yeah, for the most part.
So that movie, the second one, ends with the infected going to Paris. So they've retconned that and said that everything's still contained here in Great Britain. One thing I will say about the 28 Days franchise is they know how to get you in the beginning. These openings in all three of these movies are the best parts of the whole movies, of all three of them.
Oh, sure. This one was
great.
Was brutal, man. It was really dark, and it was like a glimpse from the 28 days later, not years. After the title card is when we get 28 years later. This is like still fresh from the outbreak, the way this movie opens, right?
Right.
And we get introduced to a young boy named Jimmy.
Right. You're introduced to Jimmy. He's in a farmhouse with a bunch of other little girls, and chaos is going on outside, and the parents put him in this room watching Teletubbies, trying to distract the children what's going on. Typical thing that a parent would do, right? But then, dude, I tell you, I don't like, that they kill kids in movies, but when they don't see anything, right? Like, they don't show the gore of the kids. But when you kill kids, all bets are off at that point, right? Anybody could get it.
Yeah. Again, in context, I don't mind if a Ute or two is killed to kind of help create a vibe in the movie, but this was a slaughter. This was a room full of them, and you're right, they didn't show any of it, but it's very much implied that a good dozen of them kind of turn into it. Now, this is, again, later on in 28 years later, where I have a lot of questions about the infected and how this virus has now evolved, because did you see young infected in this movie?
No, I did not see young infected.
I could have swore that it might have just been smaller people, but I am like, I have to go back and watch, but I am 90% sure that I saw like young infected. They were smaller. They were very much like half the size of like a normal infected. It seemed like they were implying that the infected in this movie have now created their own, I don't want to say civilization, but their own kind of tribe, their own kind of, herd with each other. And they hunt together, they thrive together. And I'm not even kidding you. I saw a part where there was a few like little ones that are running around. So I don't know what that is about. Again, going back to the pregnant one, we don't know if she was pregnant before she got turned, or if the rage virus obviously got some hot blood into an alpha, and he started to rage onto her instead in a different way, and got her pregnant, because these infected are still alive, right?
So that's some of my complaints with this movie is that they say multiple times in this movie that when you are infected with the rage virus, you don't have any other motor skills. Your only thing is rage, right? You don't settle down, right? Like at least when a zombie gets its meal, right? The zombie sits there and eats. Like these things don't stop moving. They constantly are going. And then,
Yeah.
like, the fat ones we see later that are crawling, I call them tanks. That's just my word. You know, like the fat ones that are crawling.
Yes, yeah.
So the tanks, those are just other infected that are just eating constantly. Eat. You know, so
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think they are. But then again, maybe I'm wrong because there is a little one because there was a little tank.
This is, again, Danny Boyle has said this in an interview where he talked about the rage virus evolving, and we get to see the many different forms of its evolution, where I'm just like rolling my eyes and be like, well, that's dumb, man. I get that it can evolve. It's 28 years later, and the virus wants to survive. I understand that. But your way of showing us and not telling us, it's not efficient. I wasn't on board with that because it made it seem like instead of it being an evolution, it made it seem like there was just, I don't know, different humans with different rage and they were just running around being, I don't know, angry with their one with this massive unit in my face.
Right, because you get 3 different kinds of infected in this movie. You get the alpha, and then you get the drones. I'm just going to call them that, and then you get the tanks. I mean, that's all you really get. But this opening's great though. Jimmy escapes the room, runs away, goes into the church, and his dad is crazy, dude. Like his dad is a preacher, and he's just like, son, this is the end days. This is what I want. This is what we're all about, you know. But here, take my cross and go far, far away, right? And the dad, like, here comes the infected. I was like, oh no, the infected come in. The dad puts his arms out, Jesus style, and they rip him apart. And then instantly he turns and he leads him out of the church, right? And it's just like, that was a great opening. It got me. It bought me in. I'm excited to see where they're going to go 28 years later.
Well, yeah, because I didn't even think about Jimmy until later on, until we see about halfway through the movie when there was a body in the mainland that had the name Jimmy on it. Now,
Right.
I will say, and again, in my deep dive of zombie movies, I really do feel this, that all of the zombie movies seem, for the most part, to get like 1 or 2 things right that I think are like, oh, that's a great ad. That's a great feature. I like that. Go off of that. But I feel like they crap the bed on so many other things that it almost negates how right they did a feature. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I feel that in this franchise, they do a great job of it kind of having this perceived real threat. It's a virus. It was a lab-made virus made by 2 dumb scientists, right? Who thought it'd be a good idea to mix the Ebola virus with whatever they were trying to do. And that was dumb, right? Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. I like that because of that, you have this fast-acting virus, right? This quick and fast to react virus. I like that, the way that it turns. I like that because of that, these infected are still alive. I like that because of that, most any shot on them is a kill shot. Great. No longer does it need to be for the head.
Superhuman.
Right.
Yeah, no more superhuman.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. I like that. That's cool. That's great. I like that it can be passed not just by blood, but also like saliva. Basically any sort of fluid, right? And any opening that you have on you is going to be vulnerable to that infection, right? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All for it. How they have to do it, I think, is silly. I don't like how these characters, because they're different in the first, second, and third one, have to, in order to further the plot, have to put themselves in ridiculous situations that they know are pretty dumb, or it's just like, why would you do that in the first place if you already know the answer? Or why is Jeremy Renner going out of his way to save these 2 kids? I feel bad now after I killed a bunch of civilians. I'm going to change my thing, and it's wrong to do that kind of a thing. I think that's kind of silly. There's a lot of, I was describing to HR, a lot of plot armor. A lot of characters are just there just to further the plot along. Case in point, the mom in number 2, where she's still alive. They have an immunity, but they have this. I don't like that. I also don't like in a lot of these movies, and I'll go this broadly for everyone, that the motivation for the infected or a zombie seems to just kind of be shrugged aside. And what I mean by that is that the undead ones are going after brains, right? They're hungry, they're eating.
Yeah.
Same with kind of the infected, although we can give them a pass. It seems like later on they're doing it more for food, but before it's just rage. They just want to beat somebody, right?
Right. That's mostly the first one was.
I don't like when there's one living character who gets mobbed by 10 of these things, and we get a scene of them basically arm up as they go down. And I would think, okay, well, that guy or woman is getting eaten, right, or getting smashed to smithereens. And then the next shot we see of them, they're turned with just like some shredded clothes, but pretty much intact. It's like, that was it? Is that the zombie just wanted to take a little nibble off of your neck and then they just moved on? I don't often see a victim like ripped, like completely mutilated, right, to the point where they can't turn, or that when they do turn, they're incapacitated because of how badly they've been eaten.
Okay, so you wanted more gore into this. Like, okay, so you're saying that Jimmy's dad, when he stood up, his perfect church garb should have been tethered and worn, and he should have
I'm not
multiple...
saying that.
No.
I'm saying that if Jimmy's dad in this movie was eaten, because, like, okay, these zombies, these infected, are they trying to eat? If that's the case, are they just going to have a little and then just move on? If a shark eats you in the water, is he just going to take a little piece of your foot and then move on to the next little piece of foot that he can get? No, he's probably going to rip you up. He's going to eat you alive. He's going to eat all of it, like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, for instance, right? The T-Rex. He's not just going to take a little arm or sample off the guy off the toilet. He's going to eat the whole thing. He's going to eat all of you. So you're done. You're done. But in these types of movies, we see these people, like, I don't know, just like tag you're it kind of a thing.
Well, because I don't think
see
in
them
this
decimated ever.
Well, because in a movie like this movie, in 28 years later, I don't think that these infected are. Well, I don't think I know that these infected are people at all, right? Because it has a virus in it. It's a fact-acting virus. So what's the whole point of the virus? Obvious answer is to spread, right? So they don't want to eat anybody. Because if you notice, anything that the infected are eating are animals. Deer, mostly. So they're not eating people. Because I don't think a deer can have rage virus.
So there's the other cause that I don't have any information about, right? Okay, can animals then get into this virus?
I don't think so, because we've seen that they're not.
What was the bird thing all about then in this movie? As Spike and his dad in this movie, is Spike and his dad are running back at night to their island, and all of a sudden they get attacked by like a mob of birds that are flying at night, by the way, too. I don't. It's why? What purpose does that? Is the virus aware of who has and who does not have the virus? Is its whole purpose is just to spread, or was it originally just to make people angry? Like a virus shouldn't be right. It shouldn't, I guess, be sentient into the point where it's self-aware of itself, or be like, oh, okay, well, we see that those 4 people have rage. But those other people don't have. They smell like they don't have rage. I'm gonna run after them. I
believe that's what happened. Well, I believe that's what happened, because that's what happened to Jimmy's dad in the beginning of the movie. Jimmy's dad gets attacked by a horde of infected. They get a couple good bites in, and then the camera pans up, and then as soon as he starts to tweak, they stop, and they literally follow him out. So yes, I don't think that the rage virus is like, okay, who am I infecting today? I don't think it's self-aware. I just think that it's the Neanderthal virus itself, right? Okay, that's not infected. I'm gonna infect it. Period.
So, okay, sure. In that part, then, if it does it just want to eat? Is it just like a survival thing? Because this movie does have a very overlying theme of life, death, and survival. What it means to, I'd say that actually the whole franchise has a theme of survival, right? That, having friends, having family, and having all of this doesn't really matter when you're just trying to survive. The soldier in this movie, Eric, actually makes a good point of that, where he doesn't care that he helped you or saved you or that you're trying to save him. Like, he's trying to survive. So why did I save you if you can't help me?
That's a very good point. I just think the issue that we're having for this movie is we're getting two different stages of the infected, right? Because the infected at the beginning of this movie is the recently fresh 28 days later infected. And those 28 years later have evolved to tanks, children, and to alphas. So now they are going to eat deer, maybe, right? Instead of people, because there's no people on the island anymore.
So I wanted to go back then, because we get a scene where Spike and his dad see a herd of deer, right?
Right.
That are just obviously in a large number. And almost untouched. They're able to thrive a bit more, obviously. And now there's not a whole lot of human threat around for them.
Yeah.
If the infected are just hungry and looking to survive that way, then, like, wouldn't that be a decent trap then? Is to, like, get, like, some deer meat or some food available and put it into an area where, ring the dinner bell, and then you can have all the infected just go to that food, because that's all they want to do is just eat, and you could just pick them off that way.
Well, we don't know who's all alive yet on the island, right? I'm assuming from this movie that there's nobody left alive in Great Britain.
So this is another issue that I have, because again, so many that I've had a reason why I just did not like this movie whatsoever.
Okay.
After we were introduced with the Swedish military, or the Navy, excuse me, from Eric, saying that he was a patrol boat that sank, and they came onto the island, right?
Right.
And they had their guns, and they're getting the waves of hordes a wave or whatever at them, and they're just kind of shooting them off. A few things bothered me about that. First off, that you have an assault rifle, you don't need to hold down the trigger and let loose 15 rounds to kill one zombie. By the way, you can't aim. Like, the thing, I don't have any gun skills, but I can tell you right now, if I had an assault rifle, I could probably kill a thing that was running at me and that's 10, 15 feet away. I'm very confident I could do that and not just hold it down. Conserve that, man. Like, I don't know. It just seems like they just were
there for a body count.
I'm gonna run. Oh my God, there's 20 of them, and I only have 50 bullets, kind of a thing. It's like, and there's only 3 of us with 50 bullets each. It's like, well, come on, man, really? Like, anyway.
Well, buddy, look, we see this time and again in movies, though, right? There's not a lot of smart military guys in movies, right? No,
of course they go to a tunnel and they shoot through metal doors. Anyway.
We're skipping a lot, but
I'm getting through. Again, I'm venting all my gripes here.
Get it out.
It says that basically in your retcon that they put the virus back onto this island. By the way, I don't know how it got onto Scotland, right? Because isn't Scotland a separate island of its own? No, what's the island? Ireland. Oh, Ireland. Excuse me.
It's in Ireland?
No, I'm sorry. There's Great Britain.
Right.
Scotland's in the north. They're not. Yeah, excuse me. I'm getting my geography a little mixed up there. Britain's its own island, and then next to it is the island of Ireland. So,
right.
2 separate islands that are just in its own quarantine. So I don't know how one got to the other. Either way, I guess they.
Did they say that Ireland is infected in this movie?
They said all of United Kingdom.
Oh, they said all of the United Kingdom. Oh, maybe the rage infected got on boats.
You're right. But it seems like Eric was talking about how the world basically has moved on, and they just left these 2 islands quarantined, and no one's going to help them. We're just going to leave it there, and we're just going to watch and monitor. And that bothers me because for 28 years, you're telling me that no one is doing anything. No one's going to learn. No one's going to take an infected and like study it. Like there's no any type of rehab that's going on to this. Everyone's just gonna the world is gonna put boats and satellites on this area, and then just wait for it to just
We
disappear.
don't know. No, see now I'm okay with that because we're getting these people's point of view. We have no idea, right? Great Britain's huge. There's probably some place on the island that has scientists capturing infected and studying alphas and stuff. We don't know. We only know what these characters know, which is okay.
And for some reason, they don't have internet there. There's no communication. No other country is like dropping supplies in or like ammunition to like help the people.
Because I don't think anybody's alive.
They clearly know people are alive, dude.
Do they? I don't. Do you? I mean, like, I'm not trying to fight you. I'm just saying, like, okay, so in the beginning of the movie, we get introduced to what Spike and what's his dad? Aaron Taron Johnson?
Jamie. Yeah.
Jamie. And and this is my point of the argument. I got from this small little island that has this, what they call it, causeway?
Yes.
That goes from their island to the mainland. That he takes his son out to go hunting for his first infected kill because this is a rite of passage for him. Right?
Yeah. That's right.
That's right. So I don't think that how about this? What I'm trying to say is I don't think that they think that anybody else is really alive. Later on when we meet Ralph Fiennes, he's just a crazy guy. Right? I mean, he's living on the DL. You know, so it's like major cities don't have people in them. They're gone.
And I don't accept that because Eric, the Swedish guy, has a smartphone. He talks about internet. He talks about DoorDash or whatever it is, delivery driver. He talks about modern things that we have. And I cannot accept that in now, our modern age, right, that we're just going to just shut off that island and be like, nope, there's nothing there type of thing. It's like, no, you have drones. We live in an area in this movie, the way, the age that this movie is taking place and what year it is, there's obviously surveillance that can be done from a great distance.
So what are you trying to say? Are you saying that the whole world has failed Great Britain and they should just nuke this whole entire island and start all over again? Like, what are you trying to say?
To nuke it, but I mean, it's 28 years, and there's been, we don't know what attempt there is. I'm sure there's cover-ups. I'm sure that like NATO exists, right? Like there's not any attempt, and they clearly have to know that civilizations like the island that this group is on in what do they want to say? What do they call it? Like Hope Island or something like that. That towns are thriving. They have to know that.
Right, but that town is, yes, that's Great Britain, but that's not the main land. I think that they, meaning the world, was trying to just contain Great Britain. And I'm sorry, but this Hope Island people, I think these people are dumb. I mean, yeah, the causeway is a cool visual, but why would you, clearly we see it, the Alpha just ice skates across that water. Like, why did the infected go after Hope Island numerous times in the past?
You're right. Why wouldn't they? I mean, I guess you would just bottleneck and they could just get everyone with the bow and arrows and just take them out. So,
but that hasn't happened yet, ever.
No, we don't know that. Again, we don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know in this movie, and I feel like it's just left open for interpretation. Maybe we could find out in the next one. From what I understand in my research of this trilogy, is that there is like a website that is tandem to a lot of this information and the leaks and stuff like that, where they have like secret photography. Oh, in that part, then yeah, NATO, in that website, it shows that NATO does know about like the Bone Temple, and it does know about Hope Island, and knows about these different areas of the island where people are thriving. There's more information on there. I'm hoping that we'll get more of it because, again, it just doesn't seem like I don't know. I don't want to say realistic, but it just seems kind of. I don't know, man. Like
It seems
a
realistic
stretch.
It sounds realistic to me. We just got out of a pandemic, right? We got out of COVID, right? If there was an island and everybody on that island was infected with COVID, and the whole world knows that it's so easily, I mean, you can get
Buddy.
infected. You know what I mean? You'd be like, okay, everybody stay there. You know, go
There
away.
would be a humanitarian effort by some people to try to help the people on that island. I get that. Dude, Jurassic Park 3 even had people going on that island, right? Even though it was like, oh, not supposed to go on that island. Don't go there. And here we are, Jurassic World 15 or whatever, the flipping movie where you're going to make me curse. A movie that we're on here. And people were just like, well, let's go to that island, I guess, type of thing. We got to find another reason to.
Yeah,
to
there
do
are
it.
stupid people that go to the island. I'm saying that the overall world would be like, hey, we're not going to touch this. This rage thing is what? It took 28 days for all of Great Britain to fall because of the virus.
I get it. It's surrounded by an
So-
island, but isn't there a channel? Isn't there also like connecting from Britain to France?
HR would know. I don't know. Let me see geography. Let's Google it, huh? Live on here.
London to Paris.
Let's see here. So
The Channel Tunnel is often called the Channel. Is 31.5 miles long, and it's a train from
It's a
London to
train.
Paris.
So yeah, because you got Scotland, England, Wales. Okay. I don't know, bud. It's not showing me on the map.
So maybe it's caved in. I'll give Danny Boyle the favor on that one. You're welcome, Danny Boyle. I know you're listening right now. Or I'm sorry, maybe not him, Alex Garland. Hey, you're welcome, Alex Garland. I just fixed that problem for you.
I don't get why people like Danny Boyle. There was a guy that I knew for a long time that just loved everything that Danny Boyle did. I saw Sunshine in theaters, Slumdog Millionaire in theaters because of this dude. I'm just like, eh. And then the guy that was like, "Is this a great movie?" Yeah, not really.
I feel like Alex Garland and Danny Boyle are in that same group where they had one or two hits, and they are still riding that wave from those hits, whether it be like Train Spotting or I know The Beach was a popular movie. Those are probably more cult movies now that I say it out loud, right?
Yeah, The Beach was not popular at all. I like The Beach because it's completely bat nuts crazy, but it's not a good movie.
Well, I like Sunshine. I think it, as silly as it was, that was a movie that I really liked just because of Chris Evans. Oh, and Cillian Murphy was in that one too. So, but I liked it just because I remember they were given that situation and for the other spaceship, and Chris Evans just like, no, we don't care. I don't care about that other spaceship. We have a mission. Stick to the mission.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, good, an actual rational person in a movie. That's ridiculous.
Well, and these people are ridiculous. So Aaron Taylor Johnson and his son Spike, this town who's definitely afraid of the infected and definitely afraid of the mainland, is like rite of passage. You have to go to the mainland. It's not like you're hunting deer. And it's not like you're hunting man either, right? Like you are hunting these infected. It's
The most
so
dangerous game.
right. It's so dangerous. Why would you do this, right? And then they go into this house and they see this upside down guy with Jimmy carved on. Now the movie got me because we saw Jimmy in the beginning, and it said Jimmy on this guy's torso. So I'm like, oh, this must be Jimmy. I didn't know this. I YouTubed it. There is tons of Jimmy graffiti throughout this entire movie.
Oh, nice.
This Jimmy character is based off of a real life person in Great Britain. Did you know this?
No, go on.
So the way this guy looks, right, later at the end of the movie with the track suit and the white long hair,
Yeah.
was this guy named Jimmy whatsoever in Great Britain. He was Great Britain's Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
He looked just like Jimmy does in this movie.
Oh, you know what? That would explain, I guess, a lot of the start of this movie, because it seems like he was watching Teletubbies, right?
Right.
So he may be kind of stuck at that age, right? Just a man-child stuck
Well, it gets-
at 10 years old.
Hold on, it gets better, because in the real world, in our reality, this Jimmy guy in Great Britain, Britain's Mr. Rogers, dies of old age. After he dies, comes out that he was a child sex molester
Oh, my goodness.
and all these other horrible, horrible things that came out after his death in real life. Interesting, they made a Netflix movie about it. Lastly, about it, that's very interesting, is that he died after 2002. So if this movie takes place in the real timeline, these people, like this Jimmy guy who's looks like this guy, doesn't know that he is he's a Bill Cosby character.
All right, so we got some robust kind of backstory there.
Yeah, I found that to be very, very interesting. I don't know what the guy, I don't know what the guy's name is. Jimmy, Great Britain. I don't know what. I don't want to do this on air because I want to show you a picture. Oh, here we go. Jimmy Salvelli is this guy's name.
Do you know
Yeah.
who the actor is?
Don't know who. Oh, yes, I know who the actor is. We've seen him before, have we not?
Yeah, Jack O'Connell. He was in Sinners.
Correct. He was the bad guy.
Yeah,
And you
he
really
was the
liked him.
vampire. Yeah,
Here's
when I saw him on screen, I was like, "Oh, that guy looks familiar."
So this is the real Jimmy. For people that are looking, see right there.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Oh, God.
So what I'm showing Eric for people is if you just Google Jimmy Salvi, Savile, Savile, he is great. He was Great Britain's Mr. Rogers, and the whole point of the Jimmy character of this movie is that he looks just like this guy in real life. Blah 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 blah. Don't want to
It was
repeat.
like a Trailer Park Ric Flair.
Jet flying, kiss stealing, son of a gun. Yeah. So, I think the plot's very stupid that Aaron Taylor Johnson is taking his son to become a man. I also think it's very stupid that his wife is hysterical, like with some madness or some disease or something that's going on with her. And why I find that stupid is because he's not doing anything to help her, and then his son Spike sees his dad having an affair, right? Yeah. That right there makes me turn on Spike, right? Because Spike's like, I saw Daddy kiss another woman, so I'm going to run away from home by myself at 12 years old and not go back. I'm going to survive.
13.
Okay, I'm going to survive on this island and full of infected. Let's go.
Oh, never mind. 12. I thought this was a rite of passage at 13, but I think you're right. 12-year-old.
I could be wrong. This is where we also meet like the soldiers, like you were talking about, and then we meet the Alpha. We meet two alphas in this movie, right? And
Yes.
I do find it very interesting that the alphas are so strong that they predator decapitate your head with the spine attached.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. And God bless modern technology, right? Because YouTube debunked that, right? Like the whole predator taking the decapitation with the spine, because they're just like, even if the predator was that strong, he couldn't do it. Like there's no way you can ever detach somebody's head from their body with their spinal cord attached. Like that's some power.
Yeah. It's raw.
What a brutal
rage
way to
virus.
die. What a brutal way to die, man. But
Yeah,
it's like,
you
yeah,
kidding me.
yeah. So they find the soldiers' heads get ripped off their body, right? People are dying. Soldiers get infected. Blah blah blah, right? And then their mom is freaking out again because now it's Spike takes mom away from the island because dad was cheating, and then there was word of this crazy witch doctor guy in the island.
Yeah.
somewhere.
The details that you're missing here is that when Jamie and his son Spike originally went on this trial, I guess kind of had to do an overnight thing, or at least it was at night, Spike looks on yonder and sees smoke, a fire, and he asks his dad, "What's that?" And Dad's just like, "Oh, don't worry about that," kind of a thing. So yeah, they end up coming back home after their attack from the Alphas, right? And it's a very kind of a thrilling chase from that type of thing, which I don't understand why in the first place. So anyway, we're back at home, and they have a big old party, right? But everyone except Spike seems to be having a good time, just like you said. He's more concerned about his mom, and we get a dialogue from him and was it his grandpa or something like that in the first floor where everyone was up part?
He was a family friend. I had to Google it.
Family friend, and his family friend talked about because Spike asked him, like, "Hey, what do you know anything about that?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, that might have been this old guy. Hold on, what was his name? Dr. Kelson. He lives out there. He used to work for me." Kind of thing. He was a GP for kind of a thing, or he was mine or something like that. And yeah, he's a doctor, and Spike's like, "Oh, a doctor. Maybe he can help me figure out what's going on with Mom." This is what bothers me. Another thing that bothers me is that Jimmy. Jeez, I keep getting saying Jimmy. Spike gets in his head that, oh, okay, well, I'll get my equipment all loaded up. I'll take Mom in the morning. I'll create this diversion so that me and Mom can escape our town, and then we'll go into the mainland and try to find Dr. Kelson to see if he can help my mom. Help me, Mom. And surely they could fix her, right? Later on, we find out that she has cancer. She's going to die anyway. It's revealed that everyone already knew that she has cancer. Where she was just like, "Oh yeah, they were supposed to tell you," but this is kind of goes into the theme of like survival, or like what it takes to become a man. Like in the village, they all thought that if Spike goes out there and kills something, that's him becoming a man, right? That's him ending his adolescence, and he's now part of the club. But actually, he's the one taking care of his mom, while Jamie can't be man enough to tell his own son about what's going on, and he kind of lives in this lie.
Did I miss it then? Because I did not get that confirmation that the town knew that she had cancer.
She had said in her last final words that she knew. By the way, she knew. Okay, and that they were supposed to tell Spike.
I don't believe that at all, because okay, let's go back for a minute, right? Because we're missing a big part too. Where they get to the train, right, with the soldier, and then there's an affected pregnant woman who is in labor, giving birth, right? I also kind of call BS on this, right? Where the infected woman's in the rage doing her thing, and then crazy cancer mom's holds out her arms, so the rage infected and zombie, if you will, just okay, I'm gonna squeeze your hands to help me give the birth to this child.
They're having a connection.
Nonsense, complete nonsense. And then the baby comes, and the baby's not infected. But that's when the rage happens again. Alpha chases them, and then that's when we get introduced to Ralph Fiennes. I thought that was Gore for a second. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
I was like,
looked like it.
I was like, oh, Gore's in this movie. And then he starts talking. I was like, oh, Ralph Fiennes. The Menu himself. He gets the golden headphones.
Congratulations.
He gets it for this movie, The Menu, and also as M. Not M? No.
James Bond?
Yeah, but whatever. M? Yeah, the new M.
M or Q? Was he
M.
He was M.
Yeah. So congratulations, Ralph Fiennes. You're going to get the golden headphones. This is where I turn on the movie for the positive, because I know Ralph Fiennes. I find him fun, and everything that I see him in, even if the movie's crap, he's good. And I really did enjoy Ralph Fiennes. I know that you may be giving this a bad rating, but I thoroughly did enjoy him in this. And Spike just believes him 100%. So now this is where I argue with you about the mom knowing that she has cancer, right? Ralph Fiennes examines her, does some tests, asks some questions, Dr. Hauser, if you will, right? Just, goes in that realm. And then he goes, I know what your problem is. You have the lady cancer.
Yeah.
There's no proof of that. You could be just mentally unstable. But I'm telling you, I feel, because you have swollen lymph nodes and your breasts are swollen. I'm going to go kill you now.
Yep.
That was complete nonsense. I don't believe that she knew I mean, I don't know. I mean,
in fewer words, it was relayed to me that the village knew that it was only a matter of time. The inevitable was that she was going to die. Right.
So they knew. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. See, I didn't know that, so I was just like, why is she accepting this? So like Ralph Fiennes gives Spike some morphine, chills him out, and then he walks Cancer Mom out to the woods and he gives her a shot of morphine, and what does he do? Beheads her? I don't know, but Spike, acting like a champ, sits there coming off of his drugs, and Ralph Fiennes comes in. He goes, here's your mom's skull.
Yep.
And me in that moment, I'd be like, what the hell did you do to my mom, bud?
Oh, thanks. Thanks for the souvenir.
This is what? This is my mom's skull? What did you do? I would be...
And he climbs on top of the bone pillar there and puts her skull on top, and then they watch the sunset together. Him and his mom's skull.
Metaphor.
Ugh.
Right. And then the Alpha's going to come to attack, and then Ralph Fiennes and Spike go underneath this secret underground lair, but the Alpha's too smart. He comes in the back door, and they knock out the Alpha, and Ralph Fiennes like, I think it's time for you to go home.
This Alpha's name is Samson, by the way.
Why is he named Samson? Ralph Fiennes names him that.
Yeah, Dr. Kelson calls him Samson. He's been around for about 3 years, he says.
Living in this area.
Yeah.
And Dr. Kelson?
Kelson.
Dr. Kelson says, the newborn baby is not infected. God bless the placenta.
Yep, God bless it.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not a fan of this, but whatever.
So the infected can give birth to... Oh, wait a minute. I understand. This answers your question about the little infected, because the infected gives birth to regular... You know exactly where I'm going with this one. They give birth to normal people, and why it's still an infant, it gets bit, and then it gets infected.
But then, yeah, it goes to be said that, like, okay, so the infected can then procreate then, right? That the other thing that answers that question then is that the newborns aren't immune, right? Because
Correct.
if we saw little ones, then obviously they were bitten and they've been turned. So
Right.
I swear, Alex Garland, if you're listening, I better not see in the next movie this baby, whatever its name is. I forgot. Isla. Thank you. Thank you, HR.
Thanks, HR.
That Isla better not grow up and be immune, and better not be like the Ellie from Last of Us or something like that. I'm gonna be upset.
I'll be upset too, because Spike then shows up with Ella. What did you just say?
Isla.
Shows up with Isla, drops off the note, runs back to the island, and he has to become a man. He will try to come back, Dad, one day, and we get Aaron Taylor Johnson running out, screaming to the heavens, no! And this is where we get introduced to the real Jimmy. We know it's him because of the upside-down cross necklace, looking amazing in that Adidas tracksuit, and they're tracksuit ninjas.
Yep, love it.
Just killing him. Typical Danny Boyle on that one.
Don't know what this is about, but I'm sure we're gonna see more of them.
It's out of left field. It's a tonal shift, right? I don't know, but okay. Popcorn ratings here. I know you're gonna rant, so I'll go me first. I haven't done that in a while, and make it short and sweet. I'm not like you on this one. Like, I don't have a problem with the evolution of the infected. I guess I didn't give it that much thought, right? I interpreted it that nobody's really left alive on this island of Great Britain, so the infected are now, Neanderthals. They're going back to caveman days, right? I think the rite of passage to go and kill one's silly. I don't understand the tankers. Again, the fat ones that crawl and eat worms. That doesn't make sense because that's not the rage virus, right? They're supposed to rage. So I don't understand that. Dr. Kelson, Ralph Fiennes, is the best part of this movie. He was a diamond in a turd. I thought Spike was fine. I really had no complaints. I just wish they did more with Aaron Taylor Johnson. I don't hate it. I don't know if it's the worst in the franchise. The favorite's still the first one, but
Sure.
I don't know. I tend to find this world interesting, so I'm always going to keep on checking it out. So, not trying to be controversial, I think I'm going to give this one a small bag because I don't think I'll ever go back and watch it again, but I didn't turn it off. I have to turn it off for me to hate it.
Sure.
So I didn't hate it. I did find the movie gross. So
Well, I hated it. I
a
can tell you
small
right
bag
now.
for me.
It's a no bag for me. I think this movie stunk pretty bad. I think what's saving it from a bag of kernels is because the acting was good. I liked all the characters in it, just like you. I agree. Like Spike was not the issue. That kid is actually a pretty good actor. I liked him in his role. His mom there, Jodie Comer, I don't know what kind of accent she was trying to do. Seemed like she was kind of mixing it up. I liked, like I said, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I liked Ralph Fiennes. They were all fine. I liked that. I like their characters. I didn't like a lot of other stuff in this movie. One, where the director or the cinematographer couldn't seem to decide on what filter to flip and use in this damn movie. You're talking about in the first half of the movie, the opening part, they're doing cuts of like military propaganda film kind of a thing, and using the whatever poem that was it Keats or something like that, to kind of show the comparison between this town and how they're rallying and preparing for a war, kind of a thing, that this 28-year war that they've been living in here too. That they seem to go from like clear, vibrant, panoramic HD to like gritty filter, blue filter, walleye lens, to shaky cam, to iPhone. They did iPhones in this movie, right? They shot by iPhones.
90. I looked this up. 90% of this movie is shot on iPhone. All the infrared scenes and all the overhead drone scenes were shot regular camera, but everything else was iPhone.
So they would go from like drone shots to POV shots to like this dark tunnel shots. Pick one. Like, the reason why I think the first movie works so well is because, again, I was in it. It was not necessarily like a Blair Witch type of thing, but it helped me kind of shift my gears into what I was watching. Whereas this was just really back and forth. I think that some views were fantastic. They were very gorgeous, but I don't think that should be all of the movie. I think the story was horribly weak. I think that they were just like, yeah, that'll work. Put that in there. Yeah, that'll work. Put that in there. Yeah, that'll work. Put that in there. It's like, do you say no to any of it? No, we don't. Put that in there. I don't like how they had to further the plot with a weak story. I think they could have done it better. I think you could answer a few more questions instead of trying to leave some mystery here. It felt like they were trying to capture the magic they had in the first one into the second one. It felt like they were trying to remake the first one almost. And going from the trilogy from days, weeks to years, it felt like it was a serious movie with a dark tone about how there is a infection going around, and then there's this battle between human and the infected, between human versus human, and then human versus government. I feel like that's a very kind of a standard type of a zombie movie right now. Something like in the Crazies, where we get to see kind of that same battle, right? Where
Good call.
The government's supposed to help us. Say with like Last of Us, the government's supposed to help us, but then they're the ones that are completely just dropping the ball because, again, when it comes to it, survival takes over. The soldier is not going to help you if the soldier's survival is dependent on you living or dying, right?
Right.
Which we get to see in the second movie. The second one, I think, was just like, what the hell? Throw that one in the garbage.
That's the worst one.
Yeah. I just didn't like that. I feel like, again, a lot of people who are writing and making this movie were just like, yeah, I think the government should do this. And no consequence will be had to anyone. So, really? Dude, like, we live in a modern era. Like, anyway. I feel like there's no one's like thinking, and it's just like up to like the plot to be moved for like one person to just be like, I'll sneak through this military compound kind of thing. This movie, I feel like is just, I don't know, trying to retcon something. It feels like Star Wars 9 is trying to pick up and repair the damage that Star Wars 8 did.
Well,
I guess.
From further reading, I also feel like this is a revenge movie too, because as well as I do, these filmmakers and writers don't own their stuff, right? The reason why it's taken so long for a sequel is because after the 28 weeks came out, two different groups of people owned the rights to these movies, and it wasn't the creators.
I don't like how. Well, that's interesting to know. I don't like how Spike, in his first outing, was nervous and he was missing all of his arrows, but then he comes back out the next day or 2 days and he is just a sharpshooter. He's just hitting, headshot, heart shot, and he's just hitting, dude. It's like, what? You went from missing everything to now hitting everything with Hawkeye accuracy. It's ridiculous to me, man.
It is ridiculous, but we've seen that before, though, in other kinds of movies, right? I mean,
that's a problem. I feel like they don't kind of show that. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I think that the gore was really good in this movie. They did a really good job with the violence. I can't slack that at all. I will say, though, that I feel like the sound editor did too much. There was so much like just slurping of when a zombie would like eat the worm or something like that. Or when the baby was born, and just like that gooey noise of all this stuff. It's like, or when when Dr. Kelson takes the skull and you can hear it. It's like, dude, there's the sound is a little bit too much. It's taken me out of it. I don't know.
I'm gonna fight you on that.
I don't like the sound editing in this movie whatsoever.
Because a few weeks ago you loved the sound editing and Bring Her Back, and I would say it's the same damn thing as this.
That's different because the sound editing in that movie is enhancing the element. Is enhancing kind of that scene of when Ollie is biting into a knife. That scene is uncomfortable to watch. And then you add a sound element to it, it now makes it more uncomfortable to watch. Whereas in this movie, when Jamie and Spike are going into an abandoned house and they see a guy hanging upside down and you hear the rope creaking, and then you hear the wind blowing, then you just hear every little thing, but you don't hear a flippin' zombie run at you. Okay.
Hey, I totally understand that now. Okay, thanks for explaining.
Sorry. There's a part when like Jamie is taking Spike out and Spike is shooting the tank, like you said, the big guy, right? And Jamie's just casually just like, all right, yep, doesn't have his arrow drawn. He's just sitting there like kind of arms akimbo or arms folded, just like, yep. Just take a deep breath and calm. And there's a fat zombie walking right behind him. We get a solo shot of the fat zombie that Spike is about to kill. And again, the sound of him crawling and eating the worms and blah, 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 it just like enhanced HD 4K crisp in my headphones here. Where the one that was creeping up behind him, we don't hear him at all. Are you serious? I I have
Mama
little
tank.
issues. Yeah, I don't. I have issues like that. Or like the infected don't scream until after they've been hit or call the alarm, where at other times they do. I don't understand that. It's like
Okay, so here's my question, though. Okay,
I'm going
so
off on tangents here.
You are. So we have rules at Movie Guys Podcast. You and I created these rules. And one of the rules here is if a movie gets 2 small bags or 2 no bags, right? Bag of kernels too, then that's automatically nominated for, worst film of the year. I gave
Put
this
it in
one a
there.
small. I give this one a small. You gave it a no bag. Does this classify as worst film of the year for you then? I mean,
Yeah.
is this going against the rules?
Oh, it needs to be the same rating. You mean?
Well, see, that's how it's so. Like anytime a movie is nominated for film of the year, you and I both give that a large. Okay. If a film has 2 no bags or 2 small bags or bags of kernels, then that's automatically worst film of the year. I give it a small.
Well, then I think that we can mix that. Then if a small bag and a no bag are there.
That's why I was asking, because there was a point to where I gave a movie a bag of kernels and you gave it a no bag and it was still nominated. I think it was Halloween Kills. Or I gave that a bag of kernels and you gave it a no bag and it was still nominated. But okay, all right. Hey, you know what? I understand your gripes. I'm not a fan of the franchise. You know why? Because it took 20 darn years for the 3rd movie to come out. I forgot about this franchise. Too little, too late. Who cares if it was in legal battles for 20-something years? Like, just don't make the movie at this point. You don't have an audience anymore.
You know what helps with zombie movies and what this trilogy is doing a disservice for itself is, again, the character development. I will put into a great example Shaun of the Dead. Okay, we all seen that movie. It's an enjoyable movie.
Love
I think
it,
what that element in that movie has is that it shows the characters before the outbreak. It shows what their day in the life is before, and then it shows wow, the outbreak is just starting, and then it shows after. So we get kind of a beginning, a middle, and an end kind of thing. In this franchise, we don't get a whole lot of before. We don't get these characters on what life was like before this. So we don't really grow with them. We get a little bit of like that in 28 Days Later, right? With Cillian Murphy when he wakes up in the hospital in his confusion. I think we share that just because we're trying to find out along with him what's going on here. What are the rules of this world? But then as it goes on, we're already established in the world. We already know what we're dealing with. We don't know these characters. We know the infected. We know what that is, but now we're dealt with new characters, and we don't really know what their story is. It's hard to feel for them. It's hard to relate or do any sort of growth with them when I really don't give a damn about any of these characters. They do a little bit of that in this movie where it shows life in the village. I wish that they would maybe had shown that a little bit more. Maybe more of a obstacle for Spike rather than him just being like, oh, my mom is sick. All right, let's go. And then just leave. And it's just like, well, I'd like maybe a little bit more challenge. Maybe some turmoil with him and his dad. Or just like you said, more action from Jamie. More of him in this movie would have been pretty cool.
Well, you're going to get your answer because it's already been confirmed. He's been on set. Cillian Murphy is in part 4. So he will be back. And hopefully we can see where that character has grown from because we've not seen him in the first movie. And I will end it on that note, right, where I think an issue with this movie, too, is that we don't have a continuing character. Every movie is a different group of people, so you can't grow with that person. But we're going to get Cillian in part 4. So we'll see how he is. I knew this one was going to be a rant. I was kind of curious what you were going to get. So no bag for you, a small bag for me. Probably nominated for worst film of the year. Probably, more than likely.
Yes, this movie made me want to write my own zombie movie.
Fair enough. Well, Eric, thanks so much for joining me. Everybody, who was listening, continue to check us out at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com or wherever you get your podcasts from. We are on those platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or even on Pandora. That's still a thing.
Oh, well, thank you, all the Pandora listeners.
Yeah, all that. That's so
Listen to us on your smart fridge on the Pandora app.
nice. Yeah. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back next Thursday for another awesome episode. Have a good night.
I listened to our League of Their Own episode,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you listened to it.
I did. I listened to about 10, 15 minutes of it, then I got busy.
Right. Well, further on, there's the moment where you have technical difficulties, and then you say, "Hey, we got to take a break because I have technical difficulties."
Oh, I forgot to edit that out.
Yeah, it's in there. It's quiet for a moment. I had a moment to
Okay,
think,
I'll
like,
fix that.
and here I am on the show, listening, wondering, are these guys coming back? Are these guys gonna do the show?
All right, sorry about that.
What's
My
gonna
bad.
happen? What's gonna happen next? I'm
I
on
had technical
tip of
difficulties for League of Their. Oh, that's right. I
tip
did
of
have
my
technical
toes, man.
difficulties.
What's going on? Yep, exactly. You know, I don't know if it's your intranet, whatever that
No, it wasn't at the time. Yeah.
that T-Mobile thing that you're stealing from the people,
That's at the fair.
right? I don't know what's going on. If it's the computer, if it's the house, did a squirrel eat one of your lines? Who knows?
That happened before.
That's why I said it. You know, it's
I
all a possibility. Is it the government watching you, just like your dad theorizes as well too, where obviously they're after you, they're after the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
as
am very
a
sorry.
group, they are hyper focused and worried about you, and they need to get the data. They need to get the hard drives to find out where the bodies are. And who is that guy, DeWine? Is that your governor?
Yes,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, listen, he's got the National Guard in, and I know where they're going.